I have a lot of sellers who make assumptions about closing costs. Many of them don't think that they actually have closing costs of their own. They think about the buyer's closing costs associated with their loan, but they don't think of their own closing costs that they're going to have to consider when they close on a house. So I want to address some issues about closing costs, what they are, and who pays what, just to kind of clear the air about this. Most of us are familiar with the fact that buyers have closing costs when they buy a house. Those closing costs are really the costs associated with the processing of their loan. And many times they'll ask a seller for assistance with closing costs, and sellers can contribute to buyers' closing costs if the price is right and the terms of the offer are right. They certainly can do that. But it's not up to the seller to pay the buyer's closing costs for their loan. That's something that gets negotiated. So closing costs, again, the costs associated with the processing of the buyer's loan. From the buyer's standpoint, that's what we're talking about. Of course, the buyers also have a down payment to come up with depending on the loan type. They also have prepaids. They have their homeowner's insurance and title insurance as well. And then their escrow for taxes that they have to think about as well if there's a tax escrow. And they also have to pay for an appraisal or application fee as well. So the buyers have a lot on their plate when they're looking at getting a loan and closing on a house. But again, sellers, you have some closing costs as well. That includes deed preparation of the new deed that will transfer ownership from the sellers to the buyers, and the recording at the county. That's very important. Another county fee that's being charged at closing is a county transfer tax. Here in Claremont County and most of the Cincinnati area, that's about $4 per every 1,000 of the purchase price. So that's a county charge. There are settlement charges from the title company that can range from $95 to $125 just for the sellers. Usually the commissions are paid out on the seller side. The commission is built into the purchase price. It's negotiated, but on the settlement statement, that will be reflected as coming from the seller side in most cases, not all. Sometimes the buyers are paying their own and the sellers are paying their own. And then the sellers also have to pay off any remaining mortgage balances or liens, and they have to have the taxes prorated so that they settle up with taxes up to the day of closing, and then after closing, the taxes are all on the buyers. So the sellers have quite a bit that they have to be responsible for as well in the real estate transaction. And a good real estate agent will give you an estimated proceeds sheet based on those charges on the seller side. So again, closing costs aren't just for buyers. The sellers have their very own costs associated with closing as well. If you have questions about this topic or any other, you can call me at 513-236-1254. You can private message me. And if you're watching on YouTube, please remember to subscribe. Thanks. Bye.